Good
Can you hear
afternoon,
me?
sir. Good
How are you,
afternoon.
sir?
I am good.
You're looking very good
Thank you, sir. You too,
and
looking
handsome as
dashing.
always.
You too look handsome, sir.
So, welcome to the Be Conscious Wellness platform. And I've got with me one dynamic scholar with me, Mr. Gopal, Mr. GR. I'd rather call him Mr. GR, who is very fit financially and very fit physically. So, GR, this is, of course, for the Knowledge Hub, the Playscape Knowledge Hub. I'm going to get right to the point because we love your gyan that you give us on financial fitness and physical fitness. So, what advice can you give people nowadays where it comes to being financially sound? And what is the first way one should learn to invest their money so you have a stable future without any hiccups?
Gautam, let me be very honest with you. At this point of time, I think post the COVID, it's all about survival.
Yes.
People are in various professions.
Yes.
Some are in jobs, they are losing their jobs. Some are in businesses, more so MSMEs and medium and small enterprises, and they're facing tough times, rough times.
Yes. Yes.
And the way people are working, it's changed. It's work from home, new normals, new cultures have come.
Yes.
To my mind, the first thing to do is, from a financial angle, be extra conservative for these tough times.
Yes. Yes.
Investment is secondary.
I see. Interesting.
First, keep your money liquid, I repeat. People are thinking about investment, and I'm finding many of my good friends, including those from the financial world with financial qualifications, they are asset rich and cash poor.
But isn't it also necessary to, just a piece of advice that even I would like for myself. Isn't it also important, maybe it's the right time to probably, if you have extra cash, to invest in some real estate because the prices are so low? What are your thoughts on that?
Gautam, the problem is that today's lows are tomorrow's high in an uncertain market. And the pandemic is something very new to all of us. We don't know how long it's going to last. In my opinion, it's going to be there for the next 1 year. I may be wrong. If that's the case, the vaccine has not yet come, the trial runs are still on. The jury's out on that, whether the vaccine is working. So my bets are off as far as the company is doing well this current academic year or the financial year or even the next year.
I see.
The reasons are not far to seek. There are no exports. There are no imports. There is dislocation. There is going to be social distancing. You'll have this on-off thought process of lockdowns and unlocking. My biggest worry is that if you invest somewhere, your money is locked. So I am requesting all my friends to be liquid for some time, even if it earns less amount. That means keep it in your fixed deposits, keep it in your liquid funds. Don't say that the market has gone up, so let me invest, because you'll actually burn your fingers. You can't catch the market when it is low and sell when the market is high. Almost impossible.
I see.
So at the moment, stay liquid, stay safe, protect yourself.
Interesting conversation. It's a great point of view, actually. So how is the COVID situation treated you, in the sense, how have you been able to be stable mentally, physically? I mean, I know that you're a great, you love your workouts. And let me tell all the viewers right now that GR was the man who got a leading gym chain into the country. And it soared. It went to how many gyms finally?
167 in 95 cities.
95 cities, 167 gyms. So can you imagine what contribution you have done for, even because I think physical health is also connected to mental health and vice versa. So they merge.
True. True.
And you're the epitome of understanding. Let me tell everyone here that this man wakes up at 4:30 in the morning, and he's in this gym at 5:30, and he does 400 to 600 4 to
No.
600 sit-ups every second day, and then he does HIIT training, he does weight training. He's a great fitness freak with a great financial brain, and he's someone we can learn so much from, because he understands the importance of physical wellness when it's correlated to mental health and financial wellness. Am I right here?
You've hit the nail on the head. Let me be very honest with you. If you're physically fit,
Yeah.
then you can think properly. Then you're mentally at ease to think with clarity of thought.
So true. So true.
And when you think with clarity of thought and keep simple the things that are there in front of you, the solutions that emerge are equally simple.
Absolutely.
And I would call simplicity as the ultimate in sophistication.
Wonderful. That's lovely said.
And if you are simple in your thoughts, no clutter, your way forward is simple. Like today, I'm of the firm belief that this era of the pandemic has taught you to be tech savvy. I work from home. I work on Zoom like I'm working with you. I close deals on Zoom even now.
Wonderful.
I'm doing sales on Zoom. And I think online is going to take off like never before. Mark my words. Online is going to be the new order of the day.
Already become the next big thing. I mean, it's so amazing.
No, for me, if anybody is not online,
right,
I think somewhere along the line, they are missing the train.
They're going to slack and they're going to be...
No, I'll be telling you, you will be outdated in no time. You'll become, obsolete.
Yes.
So for me, physical fitness with mental fitness and positivity in the system, you can think clearly and then do your work. Automatically, you'll be forced to think carefully. You'll conserve your money, employ it judiciously, and more importantly, you will also be taking those steps which are to be necessarily taken in a changed environment to ensure that you have reasonable returns on your investment.
Like you said, you've got to unclutter your mind. It helps you unclutter your mind, so your thought process becomes very sharp and single-minded focus comes into play. It makes a
absolutely. And Gautam, let's be very clear. Don't sit at home and have fat reserves. Have financial reserves.
Well, at least this talk is fun, because what we discussed is what I'm doing with all the scholars who are coming on the show is, I said it's got to be light, it's got to be fun, and don't forget, it's got to do with the Playscape Knowledge Hub. So it's all about being conscious. It's all about having
be conscious that you shouldn't have fat reserves. And be conscious that you should have financial reserves.
Yes.
And nothing better than replacing fat reserves by financial reserves.
How do you tackle that?
I do two things in a very simple manner. One, I exercise daily. I don't overdo it.
Right. Moderation.
Moderation is a key to everything. Secondly, I divide my day into various zones.
I see. Interesting.
I have decided that so much time is for reading, so much time is for working, so much is family time, so much is kitchen time with my wife.
So you're a very organized person, huh, GR? You're very
structured.
Do you think in your past life you were in the military or something? I mean, like, I got to do this at this time, I got to make my bed, I got to do this, I got to do that.
No, I'll be very honest with you. It's not in my past life. I started working from the age of 20 because my family needed me to work.
Wonderful. Okay.
And that is because we needed the money. We were a very, very poor family.
I see.
So at the age of 20, when people were having fun, I was busy being an audit clerk, working, and that 200 rupees stipend I used to get doing my CA, that was phenomenal for me. That used to help me run our kitchen, because we used to buy the groceries as well as the cereals like rice, wheat, and sugar from the fair price shops. There are what we call in India as a ration shops. So for me,
certainly
for me,
wow,
absolutely. So we were virtually living hand to mouth. And I keep on telling myself that at that point of time, I used to give this 200 rupees to my mother and take back from her 10 rupees.
Wow.
For my expense. That was discipline. Because we needed to survive.
For 5% you should take back.
Yes, absolutely. And that was a norm.
Yes.
And this 5%, because I was studying in a vernacular Tamil/Malayalam medium school,
yes.
I used to keep this 5% in Delhi to go and see English movies at a theater known as Archana in Greater Kailash in Delhi, so that I can understand and pick up the English language. Because from 1st to 12th, I studied in a vernacular where I didn't have English as a language.
This is amazing information. You're very inspiring for anyone who hears this talk. Wow.
And what I used to do is that every time we used to have, Archana used to have these matinee shows at 1 o'clock. I used to take time off at 1 o'clock instead of having lunch. I used to use this money to go and see old movies like wartime classics, Guns of Navarone. I used to go and see movies like Magnificent Seven. I used to go and see movies like Roman Holiday or Gone with the Wind.
So
I
you
used to go
have
and
a blend of Guns of Navarone and a Roman Holiday. So you kind of, you're quite a, I would say, mixed up guy, very interestingly mixed up guy.
Yes, absolutely. I had my mix very clearly chalked out then itself. I used to go and see movies like Summer of 42.
Interesting.
And you had to conserve this money. You're asking me about discipline, Gamzi. You have to conserve this money so that you're getting that 1 rupee ticket to watch the movies. And my idea was not to watch the movies alone, to pick up the language. I didn't know how to speak English.
You mean you never took anyone on a date with you for the movies? I mean, come on. These are all romantic movies and okay, I can understand.
But I can't. I couldn't afford. How would I take a lady on a date? Tell me.
That's true. You should have taken, instead of 5%, you get 10%. You have to live.
But my house needed it more.
Just kidding. I mean, but this is amazing what you're sharing with us.
So that was the discipline that came in from a financial prudence point of view. And it has held me in good stead to this day. Not that now I need money. I don't need money, but by God's grace. But what I do is that discipline is inherent. It's part of my DNA, so to say. That if I don't work out, I think something is missing.
Absolutely.
And if I don't have 2 or 3 startups in my kitty, something is missing. I have to have startups. In the COVID, I started startups. Can you imagine?
Fantastic.
So I am into a sports tech startup, which you were there when we inaugurated.
Yes.
In the COVID, we had to pivot the model. Cricket bats were not selling. You know what we did? We pivoted the model and said that there, if people are comfortable, since they should not end up having RUST by having REST, rusting from resting. So come to my sets, come to my pitch and have knocking sessions so that you all are in touch. And we created a new revenue model of charging 250 rupees per hour.
Wonderful.
So that picked up. Today, we charge 550 rupees per hour because the number of people who are coming are more because people have started playing cricket thanks to IPL. So what we did was that cricket bat selling became secondary.
Right.
So that was the first one. Secondly, I have a digital marketing company whom you know. Similarly, that was set up and we started telling them that online admissions, online education is going to be the name of the game. And all the education institutions need digital marketing because students will not be coming to their campuses. They will not be coming for interviews, even overseas. So in the COVID, we signed up Melbourne University. We signed up Sydney University for their marketing campaign in India through digital.
I see.
So then the third thing which we did was that we have a fintech company. What we did was we said finance for non-finance during the COVID period would be a right thing. So we set up online training sessions for people who are the uninitiated. So if you ask me, COVID taught us again to reinvent the model, pivot the model in terms of revenue generation.
So you've really been thinking out of the box, haven't you?
All the time, because you have nothing better to do. Otherwise, you'll have to be keeping on looking at the ceilings. How long?
Yes, that's true.
So you can't look at the TV boxes because they don't excite you.
Yes.
Netflix or Amazon Prime are the new mantra. So you see it at your own leisure. And so the only thing that you do is you read. How much will you read if you don't implement? Knowledge should impact in solutions.
Yes.
So we started experimenting. And I'll be very honest with you, it was a great experiment. I'm so happy. Because today, you leave me anywhere with an iPad and a cell phone, I'm on.
Wonderful. That's amazing.
So I can do work, I can have leisure, and I can have fun, and I can talk to you also on a seminar.
Fabulous.
So that's what is being taught to us.
Yeah, that's really interesting because I think you've bridged the gap for a lot of people when you said you have to, I mean, like you think out of the box and, you know, the new normal has taught you so much. And yes, you can watch Amazon Prime and Netflix at your own leisure because that could be a nighttime
activity.
Nighttime activity.
Your nocturnal activity may be different now.
Absolutely. Yes. Your sleep patterns are different. Everything is different.
Yeah.
People are working.
But you can always have your drink in your hand. Make no mistakes.
Yeah, but your drink is probably a glass of whey protein or something. So because you
no,
don't...
my drink, I'll be very honest with you, is fresh lime with water.
And green tea. No, not green tea, the masala chai.
Masala tea. And it was told this time that the masala chai will build immunity.
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
And when you come to my office, you always want that one thing, masala chai.
Exactly, masala chai, because it builds immunity, they say, but I like the fragrance of the masala chai.
Exactly.
So I enjoy it. But I'll tell you something more, Gautam.
Yes.
People have been lamenting, people are negative, and people are always cribbing and criticizing. I think we need to get out of that.
That's true. Stop complaining.
Because, no, I'm not saying don't complain. If you complain, find ways and means of solving it. Because one day you can complain, second day you can complain, but there's no one to hear you. You need to action and get it going. And I found it very early during the COVID period that you have to change. And I'll be very honest with you that yes, COVID taught me a few things. And one of them was that it doesn't mean that deals can be done only if you see each other face to face.
Oh, that's a very pertinent point.
I think business can be done provided you maintain the usual tenets of life: trust, honesty, transparency,
integrity.
And above all, integrity. If you do that, trust me, Gautam, I'm not exaggerating. I've experienced it in the COVID period. You do deals, maybe it's slow, but you will actually be A, engaged,
yes.
B, you'll be doing something fruitful, and C, very importantly, your mind is positive and looking forward to the next day, or else you're looking at the next day with nightmare, trepidation. I have friends who have lost their jobs, and I don't think this period has been easy. I keep on telling them, please reinvent yourselves.
Yes.
That's the need of the hour. And I think when you say be conscious,
yes,
I'd honestly say it's very important that you need to be conscious at a physical level and a mental level, at a eating level, and above all, at a business and economic level.
Yes.
It's not the physical level alone. It's a emotional quotient as well as the intellectual quotient, together with the what I call as a physical quotient and the financial quotient.
It's basically merging all your empowering yourself. It's about
yes, you need to. And don't keep on looking at wallowing in self-pity and saying, oh, I can't do something.
But tell me,
it doesn't.
I want to ask you what, yes, like you very rightly said, it's all about discipline. It's your integrity. It's also your willpower. So
Yes.
a lot of people nowadays, a lot of people are going through a lot of hardships mentally, spiritually, financially, you name it, physically. I mean, there's so many people who are ending up in hospitals. There's depression happening in a big way. Stress levels, cortisol levels are going through the roof, the stress hormone. So, how do you, what advice can you give someone, or how do you inculcate that sense of willpower? How does one do it? Is it through willpower, do you think, is connected to discipline? Is it like, does it synergize in some way? I mean, what are your thoughts on this?
I'll tell you something which is very interesting is when you are actually having freedom.
Mhm.
And in this case, I mean freedom in terms of the time available to you compulsorily.
Yes,
Surprisingly, Gautam, you need self-discipline.
I agree with you. Yes.
People misunderstand freedom with lack of discipline.
So true.
Freedom needs phenomenal self-discipline.
Absolutely.
You have so much time at your disposal. The first and second days are amazing.
Mhm.
In 15 days' time, a man or a woman gets frustrated sitting at home.
Absolutely.
And those are the first early signs of depression. My advice is very simple. A, take baby steps towards doing something constructive. Don't say I have to take giant strides.
Yes.
I repeat, baby steps. Take the first small steps to say, I have to do this activity, I have to do this activity, I need to get this goal achieved, I need to achieve this objective.
Yes.
Second, then keep on increasing your
Base
goals,
your goals.
and keep on saying that I'll have to achieve more and more. Now, this has been an incremental manner so that you're not stressing yourself, and at the same time, you're not doing something where you'll come crashing down.
Yes.
Sometimes you take phenomenally big steps
Yes.
and things don't pan out the way you want, and you suffer mentally, financially, economically, and physically. Avoid that. Take small steps and say, let me start all over again with the basic principles of life.
Like they say, the very well known phrase, we are what we repeatedly do.
Absolutely.
So its excellence comes out of repeating.
The same thing over and over again.
Yes.
And don't think that you can achieve everything what you did earlier. Maybe you did it phenomenally, but don't have this wrong notion that you can go back to those great heights in a flash. Please avoid that methodology.
Sure. Because that could lead to frustration if you keep getting
No,
stuck.
from frustration to depression. And I'll tell you one small guidance I'd give people is, people think when you're at home, since you have no work, get into the stock market to make a quick buck.
Oh,
sorry,
my God.
folks.
Oh my God.
Don't do that. And my basic worry there, and I'm making it very candid to you, I have a lot of friends who have said, I try to become a day trader so that I can earn a quick buck. Please avoid it. Then you're getting into gambling. Avoid it and take small steps to do something constructive. If you're in the stock market, do value investments.
I see.
Play for the long term. Don't say that I have to make everything in a go on day one.
Mhm.
It's not possible.
Rome wasn't built in a day, as I said. Yeah.
Absolutely. So, Gautam, all that I'm telling is that keep it simple, unclutter your mind, take baby steps, and finally tell yourself, I have to be fit physically, mentally, emotionally, and do work in a positive frame of mind. I will succeed.
Fantastic. That's wonderful. This is very interesting. Thank you for all this info. Now, I want to ask you if you'd like to share with everyone about what is your fitness regimen like. Uh, how do you start your workout every morning? What do you eat? What do you drink?
I'll be very honest with you. My fitness regime is somewhat different, certainly different from yours, Gautam.
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't use your protein shakes. I don't use the bars. But certainly, I eat South Indian food. I love my idli dosa for breakfast, upma for breakfast. I am a rice eater. And I must tell my friends here a very interesting joke. Or people call it a joke, I call it an experience.
Okay.
In 2000, I wanted to start a gym chain in the country known as Gold's Gym.
Correct. I was
maybe about 18, 19 years ago. And by the way, for the record, I'm no longer with Gold's Gym for the past 2 years. I had sold my stake and I'd exited in the year 2019, January. So I'm not there. But a very interesting thing happened. I was for the first time entering a health club in a hotel, and I stepped on a treadmill. At a speed of 3, I started having a giddiness.
Right.
I never experienced a treadmill. Fitness was never there in my curriculum. I had only finance and strategy.
How many years ago was this?
2000.
2000. Oh, wow.
So a friend of mine, and she was a celebrity trainer, she said, "Hey, GR, you're just throwing up. Shame on you." Now that ticked in positively for me. It was a constructive criticism.
Yes.
I worked on it, and a day reached when on the treadmill, I used to run at a speed of 13. And very comfortably.
Wow.
Then came a stage that I decided that I have to be very fit.
Yes.
And today, I can say with a certain degree of comfort that I've gained 1 kg in 20 years.
That's commendable.
And that may be more of muscle. So, and in my fitness regime...
I mean, you're totally flat. I mean...
And what happened is in the process, I decided weights are not my cup of tea. I thought, let me look at crunches.
Right.
So I took up crunches for the core, and I decided I started with 50 crunches, went to 100 crunches, went to 200, went to 300, went to 400, and currently now I do 500 crunches. And 100 a set. It could be jackknife crunches. It could be mountain climber. It could be your crunches with a medicine ball. All of them, I do it. And more importantly, all the boat type crunches. Now, what does it do? It keeps your core flat. Then I do my plank.
Yes.
I started with 30 seconds to 1 minute to 2 minutes to 3 minutes. Currently, I'm at 4.5 minutes.
Fabulous. 4.5 minutes on a plank.
Yeah.
You're doing the plank position?
Yes. And totally, I do about 8 minutes. Side plank plus a front plank together.
I think you're Superman.
So at the age of 60.
I mean, what do these kids have any excuses for nowadays? I mean, they want to eat potato chips and they want to have...
And I'll tell you something. I eat rice. I have my normal South Indian food of rice, rasam, sambar, dal, and curry. And I'm not a chapati eater. I'm not a wheat eater. And a staunch vegetarian.
Yes.
And Gautam, it works. Because people were telling me, if you eat rice, you'll be putting on weight. And I decided to go by the advice of the expert trainers. And I stopped rice in the initial years in 2000. And I lost my energy. Yet I couldn't speak the way I'm speaking to you right now.
Yes.
And people say, "Are you GR?" I said, "Sorry, I am." They said, "No." I said, "The trick is that I've stopped rice. I didn't have the carbs. I was so used to a staple diet of carbs."
Carbs are so important.
It's so important for your energy levels. My energy level is high because of that.
Of course.
So I took it. And then what I decided was that I'll have meals in small portions, but regularly. And not miss my workout. I do light weights. I do more of core. And I do more of freehand. And trust me, Gautam, that has helped me to be in good stead.
Of course.
That's the story.
That's fantastic. It's very enlightening, I must say. I hope a lot of people watch this chat we are having, because I don't see any excuse people can have after we speak to someone like you, who is a busy, even now a busy entrepreneur, who's thinking out of the box, who's still very disciplined about his fitness regimen, who still gets up at 5:30 in the morning.
Absolutely. And I have my caffeine, my morning filter coffee. Can't do without it.
Oh, that wonderful South Indian filter coffee.
Absolutely. Without that, my day doesn't begin.
That's so tasty.
Gomzi, the point which I'm trying to say is that have your things in moderation.
Yes.
Man, you're a success story.
Absolutely. Well, this has been a fantastic talk. I hope one day we can get a short video of yours, of your workout, which
Absolutely.
I could share with everyone as soon as possible on the Be Conscious platform and also on the Active Hub. The Active Hub is also going to be, the Bangalore Active Hub is going to be on very soon, and plus it's going to be going to other cities. So I'm going to have you on board again, GR. I thank you so much for being here.
It was a pleasure, Gautam.
And let's keep in touch and see you soon.
Take care, my friend. It was wonderful talking to you likewise. And I look forward to meeting you soon. Thank you so much. God bless. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
See you.